a few weeks after joining Southampton, you scored twice against Rovers. What do you remember about the build-up to that game in terms of coming up against your former colleagues? Something you'd experienced, obviously, previous in your career playing against Sheffield United, but what do you remember about that one in particular?
Yeah, it was tough personally because I celebrated, but not like I normally celebrate goals, you know. I think I high-fived the little ball boy and just acknowledged the crowd. I did feel bad that day because obviously I had so many good memories at Doncaster and they'd allowed me to give me that stepping stone to go on and get my move. And I knew obviously it was putting, you know, a dagger in their backs as well with them trying to get out of relegation, which that was tough, but I was just doing my job for Southampton, and to get 2 goals against Doncaster that day, I thought that was one of my better games. I thought I played well and contributed to Southampton that day, definitely.
I know we spoke the other week about preparations for that game being slightly affected, maybe a couple of people taking their eye off the ball in the Rovers camp. What do you remember about that leading up to the game?
Yeah, we travelled down on a Thursday, and I think we'd gone to the races, and then sort of we stayed over Thursday night, Friday. There was sort of a few shenanigans gone on with a few players, and then Saturday morning we'd gone to the game, and you could see, I think Dufy had a chance sort of first 3 minutes, absolutely wide open goal, missed it, and then it was inevitable that I feel like Billy was going to score, you know. I think he bullied Habib for one of the goals, and it was like...
Yeah, enjoyed that one.
He still had a suitcase in his hand.
Yeah.
No, I think I wrapped him up and put him in the suitcase and then ran through, and I had time to go back round on my right foot, and I remember volleying it past Carl. It came in the net, and I just remember looking back thinking that felt good, putting him on the floor, because he was one of the main reasons probably Doncaster got relegated. Characters like that who came in and didn't contribute when they should have done.
Cops, did you think your Rovers career was done when you went to Forest? Obviously, you said it was never probably going to be a permanent move there, but did you feel you'd probably have gone elsewhere once that loan was up?
No, never. I mean, I said that there that a lot of it is never just about how you're playing. It's sometimes financial circumstances. It was almost like, look, go on loan, free up some of the money. We can get these lads in, and then we can have a look in January. And they always knew I had a great relationship with the club and everything that was going on behind the scenes. So for me to come back and play every game and have such a hand in the lads sort of winning the league, I never really thought about leaving the club. And at the time when I went to Forest, it was almost like my hand was forced. I didn't really want to leave. If I had a choice, I would have stayed and helped everybody sort of try and get promoted like we did. But yeah, sometimes you don't have a choice.
Billy, from the outside looking in again, what was it like to see Cops' name on Sky Sports or wherever you were watching it from, seeing him score the winner in the 90+6 minutes, whatever it was at Brentford? Did you have a feeling that might happen that day?
No, I remember I saw you at the service stations, didn't we? Is that right, Cops? Did I see you at the service station the day before? Because we was travelling and you was travelling, obviously, and obviously wished you luck and saw a few of the lads, and I just remember that green kit. That's all I remember now. And the scenes was unbelievable. I actually wished I could have been involved in that game, because Billy Painter was having a sandwich. I was thinking, what's he doing? And then all of a sudden the ball comes to him, and he does unbelievable, to be fair to him, because how he's even thought about, you know, when you're going through like that as a striker, you must be thinking, I'm going to score the win. Well, I would. And he lays Cops up, and Cops flicks. He does this weird thing with his. Well, I don't think you mean it, but he has this touch and it bobbles up. And I'm even though I knew he'd scored, when you're watching it back, and then obviously he rolls it in, and to see all the lads, you know, after they've worked so hard, and the emotions and the fans' reaction at that end, it was perfect for Cops, because, you know, like you said, he didn't want to leave anyway, so it all worked itself out, and that memory will never go away, and probably that feeling will never be beaten, because if you'd have said to Cops he was going to have 2 touches to put the ball in the net to get promoted with 0 seconds left, you just don't get them chances very often. And like I say, even when I watch it now, so God knows how Cops feels, you know, it still makes me happy and to know that Doncaster Rovers get promoted. I remember driving up, again, it was late, back up north from Southampton. Had the music on, full blast, was ringing a few people, was happy to be going back to Doncaster because I wanted to help them get out of, you know, the trouble that they were in, and just didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, and disappointing to get relegated. But I don't know, it was a strange couple of seasons for me, going on loan to, 3 clubs it was in the end, having about 6 managers in that time, and then making a permanent move to Leeds, which saw me then see 4 managers off in one season, which again was a strange time in my career.
Cops, what was your reaction when Billy came back? How pleased were you knowing what he could offer?
Yeah, it was like losing him was really difficult, but then obviously him coming back with how we were playing, like Billy said, when I said restructure, it was more almost like a structure off the pitch. It was almost like we'd gone with somebody who, again, managed Oldham in League One, fought so hard to get promoted, and the club decided to go that way. We didn't really ever have an identity or a way of playing, which again was frustrating. It was almost like, because we had some talented players, it was almost like a toss of a coin how we performed every single week. Go back to Sean, we almost like had a reset button or a structure that if we weren't playing well, we knew that we would grind out results, or we would get some sort of results. Under Paul, it was a little bit different. Training was a little bit different as well. But at the same time, we give ourselves a massive opportunity. I think we went to Ellen Road, beat Leeds. I think you scored, Billy. And I think we were sort of 7 points clear with 4 or 5 games to go and in a really strong position. But it was so good to see Billy back, because I knew obviously if we'd give him the service and he played regular in the right position, he would score goals.
Cops, that season in particular, obviously it wasn't as dramatic maybe as the experiment year with players coming in and out, but there were still quite a few short-term fixes, weren't there? I think Abdoulaye Meite, Gabriel Tamas, Lucas Neal, players like that came in short-term. So was it similar to the time when Rovers were in the Championship before that?
I'd like to say yes, but no, nothing would ever compare to that. That was like, you just couldn't believe some of the things that went on that season. This season was, again, a little bit more structured, a little bit more. The players that came in, they'd been there and seen it. They were willing to sort of roll up their sleeves. Like you say, Lucas Neal came in. I thought he was brilliant, the games that he played. He was a real good positive influence on the group. Again, I just don't think we were consistent enough in terms of. I always believe that, you know, you're only as good as you train, and you've got Monday to Friday to work on certain things and to develop an identity and a structure of how you want to play and gather the players and almost get a togetherness. And we were turning up on a Saturday and just hoping that certain individuals would perform, and you can't always rely on that. You know, in my experience, whenever that's happened, we've never been successful. Whenever I've been successful, it's always been on the back of what I've just spoke about. So it's almost like a blueprint of how I think things should be done. We almost did it, you know, last game of the season, needing a draw away at Leicester, and to get relegated on goal difference. You know, it was really difficult to take, and it would have been an unbelievable achievement if we'd have stayed up that season, I think.
Billy, not the way you would have wanted it to end in a Rovers shirt, but how do you look back on your time with Rovers? More so, I imagine, with positive thoughts when you were here as a permanent player.
Yeah, like I say, the times that I had there, I've got so many good memories, so many good people from the time I was there, from kitmen to goalkeeping coaches, obviously Butts, players like Cops, Gilly, John Oster. I speak to a lot of players still, so had some great times. Wish we could have had, you know, a bit more success, but you know, there was a lot of good people there and a lot of good players, which at that part of my career was brilliant for me. And I think when I went back on loan, probably it didn't tarnish it, but I was going through a tough time, not tough time, but a strange time in my career where I was not settled, going on loan and to 3 different clubs in 2 seasons, and obviously Doncaster was one of them. But I've got nothing but good things to say about Doncaster and a lot of fond memories. Number 5 shirt and number 10 shirt are up in my house, what I've wore at Doncaster, so they'll always be a part of my career.